Hello, you guys. I am going to do a reading using this 3-part deck, The Art of Affirmations. I did take them all out of their individual boxes, and I'm just trying to shuffle them all together. Each of these little decks have 36 affirmation cards. So what is that? That's like over 100 cards. Let's see what we have for a message today. We've got intuition. I am intuitive. So connecting to your intuition and being able to trust your intuition seems to be on the forefront right now. Oh, goodness sakes. We have breathing. I am breathing. Believe it or not, sometimes people forget to breathe. So you want to make sure that you're getting that oxygen into your lungs and into your body so that it can function properly, right? Keep your spirit as light as a feather, right? You notice the clouds there to keep it light. And even these little ones are light up into the universe, light on their feet. And there you can watch the thing start to bloom. And the more and more that you bring that oxygen into your body, the clearer things will be. You'll be able to see much easier. You want to take the breathing exercises. There are YouTube videos out there learning how to do breathing exercises so it benefits yourself the best. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. Sacred space. I am in a sacred space. And if you're not, because that did kind of come out topsy-turvy onto the floor, you may need to do a little tidying up around yourself, whether it not be in your environment or within yourself. Goddess of preservation in the mind and in spirit. And in doing all of this breathing and keeping your space and your body sacred, because our bodies are thought to be our temple space, we want to keep that area nice and clean and toxin free. And then you will have your perseverance and spirit and mind that you're able to kind of deal with everyday's life's pressures a lot easier that way. When you keep yourself, your thoughts light, maybe everything that goes on in your day, try to make it so it's not such a big deal. And maybe kind of, I'm not saying that you want to diminish the meaning in the things that are happening in your day, but the way that we respond to those things can be regulated, right? It doesn't have to ruin your whole day. I know there was a time for myself that, you know, if someone said something to me that wasn't very nice and it really made me sad, then I was pretty much sad the entire day. But now it's like I can put it into perspective of, you know, maybe that person didn't say something very nice, but maybe they're working through something, or maybe they just need that grace. And when you are able to put yourself in a state of seemingly detachment from it, you're able to function now throughout your rest of your day and get the things done that you maybe would not have gotten done because you were so sad, right? In other words, they also like to call it keeping your vibrations high, which would correlate to this card here. Keeping yourself in more of an, I'm going to say the word wrong, atmospheric height. Looking out onto the big picture of things and not so keyed in on the small details of things. The details are important, don't get me wrong, especially in dating relationships. The details are important no matter what they tell you, because if someone is not on the up and up on the smallest of details, like, you know, respecting when you say, you know what, when you say things to me like that, it really hurts my feelings, and if they kind of ignore that small detail, well, they might be more inclined to ignore more of the bigger details, right? Because if they don't care about how they make you feel when they say something, maybe it's not the right fit. Maybe it's meant for you to be with someone else. Maybe. If they're not willing to work on it. That's the difference. Whether someone just kind of outcasts it, or if they actually take it into consideration and make an effort to change the way that they communicate or their word choices or whatnot. And I'm not saying that everyone should walk on eggshells, because that's not kind either. But as long as someone's working on it and they care about you enough to be able to alter it a little, and it's not too much work for them to do so, then maybe there's hope. But we have to pay attention to those small details in those cases. But in the overall picture of things, you want to ask yourself, is this situation really going to matter 5 years from now? And you have to be honest with yourself on that answer, because if we're going to go back to those small details, yes, those small details can grow into a bigger problem 5 years from now. But if it's something minor like, oh, they left their socks out on the floor, come on, folks. It's not a big deal. Or they left their stuff out on the counter. I know someone who likes to leave their stuff out on the counter, and I don't say a word about it. I just let the counter be. I don't mind it. It's what they want to do. They'll clean it up when it's time for them to clean it up. Who am I to say how they need to live in their environment, right? It's what they want to do. I can definitely help out if they're open to that. But once again, if they're not the type of person that wants you touching their things, because there's people like that, you want to respect that. You know what I mean? And if it does bother you, have a conversation with the person and just say, hey, would you mind cleaning your stuff up off the counter? Because in all honesty, is it really a big deal? Is it really going to matter 5 years from now if you already know that this person is the type of person that's going to clean it up eventually? Right? They're not going to just leave it there. It's going to get on their nerves too. So that's what I mean by looking at the bigger picture of things. Some things just don't really matter. If someone's living in truth and integrity and honesty, there's not really too much else that's really all that important. Because they're being honest and they're living in truth and in authenticity, right? You can't get blindsided there. Everything's out on the counter, so to speak. All right, you guys, with that said, persevere in your daily efforts. Ask yourself those questions. There's nothing wrong with asking yourself questions. And if you need to readjust yourself throughout the day, that's all right. We're all here on a path. It's okay. With that said, make it a great day.